Hello, guys. Welcome to the second session on SQL. In our last session one, we have covered until the insert part, and we are going to start from the insert part today. And uh, we covered the topics like creating the DB, how to use the DB, then how to drop the database. Then we talked about the major five segments like create, insert, update, delete, and select. And then we discussed about DDL, DML, transaction control, data control. Yeah. And then we created the tables and we learned about various syntaxes to create table, then assign constraints on the columns, data types about of the columns. So all these discussions were done in our last session. So we'll now start with inserting data in the tables which we have already created. Okay. So uh, we know about this particular syntax. If I write the ESC and then the table name, then if I run it, see, it will tell us about the all the columns and their what is the type of that, what is the last name, first name, etc., etc. about that. Okay. So when we insert the data in a particular table, we need to make sure that what are the columns and these columns are of which data type. Okay. So the syntax for inserting data is insert into, then the table name. Then we can write the column names like ID, last name, first name, age. All these column names can be written over here. Then values, like for ID, I am giving ID1, last name is Sharma, first name is Rohit, age is 39. Like that, I would insert the record. Okay. So let me edit it because this record might be already present. So let me just edit it to, let's make this ID as 20. Uh, Instead of, we can keep the surname Sharma, but we can change this one to someone Mohit. Okay. Mohit Sharma. Okay. Now let's select this much part and I'll just run it. So you can see one record inserted, one row impacted, and this green tick is coming. So it means that this statement was successfully executed and this row was inserted into the persons table. So if we want to see now that whether this record is present in the person table or not, so we have to write this particular statement, which gives us all the records present in the persons table. Okay. So we can see all these data like Sharma, Rohit, age 39, ID 1, 2, 3, like that. It is continuously coming up. And our record, which is 20, Sharma, Mohit 39, 20, Sharma, Mohit 39, which is available over here. Okay, fine. Let's move further on this. There is other ways to insert data in this as well. So you can see earlier we were writing the column names, but we can there is a different way, different syntax also. We can just remove the column names and we can directly write values and write the values in the desired format, and we can insert the data. For example, 3 Sharma Ishan 34, we can update it to like 21. Then some surname we can keep Sharma and we can write Varun. Okay. Age, we can give some random numbers like 26 is the age. Okay. So in this way, we can insert in this way also. Let me write it and execute it. Okay. So again, one row affected. And if you want to see this Varun Sharma record, we just have to execute this one, and we'll go at the last column, last row, and we will see 21 Sharma Varun 26. This record has been inserted. So this is the way to, okay, syntax 2 for inserting the records. And if you want to insert multiple records at the same time, you just have to edit them in this manner. And like you can edit it 22, after that 22, and Rishabh Pant 25, we can make 23, 24, and I'll keep this one as 24 again. Okay, so let's see when we'll be inserting these records, what is the results we are getting over here. So I'm selecting all these statements together, okay, until Varun. So all these statements together, and then I'm executing. Let's see what happens. So we can see over here what happened quickly. Last record we inserted was of Varun 21 here. After that, we selected, okay, this 19 records came. And after that, we see that first record was failed. It says duplicate entry for 21 for key. Okay, then if we go down, we can see that the 22nd was inserted successfully, 23rd was inserted successfully, then 24 was inserted successfully, and after that, again 24 was saying that duplicate key. So why this error is coming? Because while creating this persons table in our last video, we noticed that we created the persons, here it is. We created the person's ID column as a primary key. So whenever any column is made as a primary key, we know that it can't accept duplicate values and also it can't accept null values. So when we try to enter those values which are already present in that column, then it is throwing error in not accepting those records, like duplicate entry, like this. Okay. When we will update this to some other, like we can see till 23, 24 was got inserted. So we can edit it to 25 and then we try to insert it. Let's see. Now it got inserted. Okay. And we can make this one also to 26. And if we try and insert it now, it will get inserted. So yeah. So we have to make sure that we follow or we follow the rules of the constraints of the all the columns while inserting the data also. If we will not follow that, then we will get the errors. Okay. Similarly, like if I go back to this one, similarly, if the last name has null value, first name has null value, then also it will not get loaded. Okay. Then we also created the other table orders yesterday. So let's insert few records in the order table as well. So let's just see the description of the orders first. So it will tell you the column names and their integer, means their data type, and whether they can accept the null values or not, and they are primary key or not. Okay. So all this information we can see from the description. Now we know that the order ID is the primary key. Person ID is the foreign key. For that, it is we are getting multi MUL as the key. Okay. And it means it is a foreign key. And yesterday in our session, we discussed what is a foreign key. Okay. Now, while inserting the data, we should make sure that we are inserting only the uh, right records. We follow these rules which are written over here. Okay. If I just see what data currently it has, I will run this. So we can see order ID 123, order number 1001, 1002, 1003, and person ID 1, 2, and 4 are present. Okay. So we can insert like after 3, we can insert ID as 4 since ID is the primary key. We can make this one also as 1004. We can choose any person ID like person ID 3 and we can insert it. See, this data got inserted. Okay. Similarly, we can do the bulk update also. Selecting all of them together and running it, it will get inserted into the data, into the table orders. Okay. But one thing that we need to understand here is that when we insert data in these tables, um, where foreign key is also present, we need to make sure that the column which is made as a foreign key and the value that we are inserting in the foreign key column must be already present in the reference table. So what it means that uh, let's first insert the data that violate the rule, and when we will get error, from that error we will understand more. Okay, so let's try and insert for a person ID 35. The third column is the person ID. If you refer to this again, third column is the person ID. So now third column is 35, and I'm trying to insert that for order ID. Let's make it 9. Okay, let's try and insert it. See, we are getting some error. What it tells is, 1 second. This tells that cannot add or update a child row. Foreign key constraint fails. And so why it fails and why it doesn't allows? So because this 35 column where you are entering the value 35, it is a foreign key column, which is person ID. But if we refer back to the structure again, and what is the reference column for that? So I'll go back here into the yesterday sheet when we created the order table. Here it is. So we can see that the references table was persons table, and its ID was the column which was referred as the reference column. So that 35 value must be present in the ID column of the person table. Only then you will be able to insert the 35 value in the order ID, sorry, in the person ID column of the order table. So that's why let's first insert the data of 35 ID in the person table, and then we'll be able to insert in the orders. So we'll go back to this, we'll go back to the person's data, and let's insert one record for 35 ID. Let's say this one. Okay, I'll select only this one. I'll run it. It gets inserted into the person table. And once the data is present in the person table, and I'll try to insert it in the orders now. Let's see whether it gets inserted or not. You can see the one row gets affected, and it gets this statement was executed successfully. Means this record has been inserted. So that is, we need to make sure while adding data into the tables which have foreign keys, we need to make sure that the parent table has the data, and after that only we can insert the data in the child table. Okay, moving ahead, um, we will be deleting, learning how we can delete the records. Okay, so suppose if I want to delete records in from the person table, which is the parent table, order table is the child table. Okay, so while deleting record also we need to make sure we follow the rule of the foreign key constraint. Okay, so if any record which is present in the parent table and it is also present in the child table, then it should be first deleted from the child table, and then it should be deleted from the parent table. If you try to directly delete it from the parent table, then it will throw the error that foreign key constraint violated. So I'll show you what error will get. For example, this if I run this order table, and if I see how many person IDs are present in this. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 35. All these person IDs are present in the order table. If we try to delete the ID 3, person ID 3 from the person table, let's try and delete it. Okay, so syntax for deleting is delete from, then the table name, where, and then you can write any condition like where the person ID is 5, or ID is order ID is something. So these conditions you can write. So first we will be trying to delete it from the person table for ID 3. Okay, so I'll update this to ID 3. Okay, and I'll try to run it. What is the error? Again, foreign key constraint violated. Cannot delete or update a parent row. Foreign key constraint fails. Okay. So why it is not deleted? Because the ID 3 is already present in the child table, which is orders. So first we need to delete the records of ID3 from the orders table, and then we can delete the data which is present in the persons table. So to delete that from this, we'll first go to the person ID 3. So wherever the person ID 3 is there, all those records get deleted from the orders table from this particular statement. I'll execute it. See, one row affected, it was executed successfully. Now we do not have data of person ID 3 in the order table. If you want to see the data, we will just run that select star from orders. This one, select star from orders. See, there is no person ID 3 data over here. Okay. Now, if we delete it from the person table, there will be no issues. Delete from persons where ID equal to 3. I'll run it and it will be successfully, you can see it got deleted. So that is how, while deleting and inserting the data, we have to make sure that we follow the foreign key constraint. Along with the other constraints, we follow the foreign key constraint rules as well. Okay. Now let's quickly go to the update statement. Update statement syntax is very simple. Update, then table name, set, first name. First name is the column name. Okay. Whichever column, like first name is one of the columns in the person's table. But if you want to update the last name, then you can write last name. Or you want to update any other column, you can write that. Okay. So I want to update the person table, set the first name as Mayank, where ID is, say, let's say 21. Okay. So I'll run it. One row affected successfully. If I want to see all these changes, I will just run select star from persons. And if I go back to the ID 21, ID 21 is, this is the one. ID 21 first name is now Mayank. Okay. If I want to again update it to something else, let's say Manish. Okay. So I'll again run it. Okay. This was successfully executed. Then I will select the data, entire data from the person table. I'll go to the ID 21. See, Manish has been updated. So that is how you can make amendments or updates in the data in any particular table. Okay. Okay. So I think we have covered the delete statement. We have covered the insert statement. We have covered the update statement. Cool. So if we go back to the our yesterday's lecture, create we have already covered, insert we have covered, update we have covered, delete we have covered. We will be now working on the select statement and how we can fetch the data. There are multiple ways. So it will be a big section. So we'll be covering that in our next lectures. Thank you.